So let's see if there are any cameras pointed at me. That one. So I would like to welcome you to the 10th design evening. Today we're here with Airside from London, and we have Alex and Anne. I'll give you a chance to start with a 30-second elevator speech of what Airside is.
But we've always struggled to find the elevator pitch for Airside because we are constantly changing what we do. We're constantly trying to find new things, trying to find things that excite us and challenge us. And we have not been a specialist agency, as you might put it. You could say jack of all trades. You could say, that's a terrible indictment of the company that, not being a specialist, being a jack of all trades is inevitably master of none. But we are a very diverse group of people as well. We work as a team, and that team have extraordinarily diverse backgrounds, diverse skills, and diverse interests, and we're interested in other things as well. And I think that's the type of brain that we require at Airside, are the sort of people who can adapt to new challenges, new technology, understand traditional methods of design, print, filmmaking, and so on.
The alternative elevator pitch is that Airside is a design company.
And at this point, what I know about Airside, I'm still confused of what you are. And for me, it is especially evident with your vast array of different clients and different client types. The clients you have, are they there as a coincidence or some conscious choices?
Yeah, I think that there is a certain amount of both. I think some of it is coincidence, as in the briefs that land on your door, and but you have the option to turn them down. So some of it is also very conscious, and we work with people like Coca-Cola and big supermarkets and MasterCard, and then we work with people like Greenpeace, and for us that makes the balance. So you get the clients that pay a lot of money, and then you have the clients that can't pay you anything. And that's how we kind of justify the two extremes to ourselves, that doing both of them permits you
to have money and have fun.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. As far as I understand, you have around 10, 12, 13 people in your company, and you're doing the exact same thing as I do as a single person, still being able to have the big clients and then the NGO clients that can't pay shit, but where you feel there's a reason behind your work. When the field you're working in is so diverse, how is your design process and how do you prevent that your work end up being cliches?
You mean a certain type of client, you might go in with a certain type of preconception about what they're after,
yeah. Or
they might have a preconception about how they would like to work with you. Yeah, well, sometimes you just can't avoid it.
No.
Sometimes what you need is just, it's like your friends. You need to have a really good relationship, and you need to really respect each other. And if you can talk to each other, and you've got time to talk, or preferably even better, have some budget to get inside each other's heads and collaborate, then it's going to work.
So what is your design process? I understand you have a special approach to that.
Yeah, well, we like to call it the group brain, and we do that with these group brain.
So I have to say, I hate that expression.
Yeah. We have this thing called the group brain, which is an ideal situation. An ideal situation is a bit like art college, but without all the egos involved, because I don't know if what it was like in your art college, but whenever you present your work, it's like, I did this, it's great, and I'm going to cry if you don't all like it too. That's a really dangerous attitude to go into a meeting. We like to be able to sit down with each other and have a bit of mutual respect, and that's really hard. It's really hard because you have to leave your ego behind. You have to be able to sit around a table, listen. Listening is a very hard thing to do, and be prepared to have your ideas shot down, and be prepared that somebody else is going to have a better idea than you have.
So the approach is more like the masters versus the auteur or the star director.
Well, yeah, this is an interesting point, because a lot of clients want star design. They want personality that's attached to an individual. And we do that, and we've got some genius young designers who produce individual style and are known for it, and we allow them to be known for it as well. You know, part of Airside is a democratic platform where somebody wants to make a name for themselves. That's great, and if they want to leave Airside and go off and do their own thing, that's great too. We don't have that competition internally, you know, we don't have. Well, okay, we do have a kind of style, but it's not driven by a single individual. It's driven as a team.
Okay, well, so what are the pitfalls? Aren't there a chance that you end up with go in lots of different directions and it becomes random, or is that a problem at all?
You know, Airside became known for a very particular style of illustration in the early couple of years, which was very figurative and it was very driven by Fred. And it helps to be known for one thing, but then you have to step away from that and you have to be allowed, you have to push to be able to do different things. So I think that it's fine to be known for one thing, but because it's quite helpful, people need to remember what it is you do. But at the same time, you have to be able to kind of go off that road.
It's a trade-off, isn't it? You have to be known for something to get people who are interested in working with you.
Exactly. So let's say there are some common ground that defines you have something that defines Airside. And I want to test you now. So if you would please leave the room for 2 minutes.
Me.
And I will ask you some very ordinary question about your company. And then you will get the same question afterwards. And I will cut you off because you talk too much. Question, what do you feel make Airside special?
Well, I think it is a good question and it's kind of a difficult question. But I think that there are kind of two reasons that Airside is a little bit different to peer companies. And one is the diversity of work that we do is, we really are diverse. We're not pretending to be diverse. We're not just kind of grabbing at everything in order to just do every job that comes in the door. I think that as long as there's a good idea at the core, how that idea is executed, whether it's, you know, a billboard or a TV commercial or something else, that comes next to the good idea. So I think we can apply ourselves across different media very genuinely, and that leads into the second reason, because the individuals at Airside all come from different backgrounds.
Well, I tell you, partly its foundation and its ethos, which is a company that's based on doing good work, great work, and making everybody who works there very, very happy. And it's not based on growth, but it's also a home for people who have got very diverse interests and diverse minds, and they can go and choose projects that they find inspiring. There's a lot of, you know, possibilities of different types of work you can do.
And what makes a good client?
What makes a good client? Oh, somebody who can collaborate, somebody we like, somebody whose values we share.
Someone who knows how to commission design and who knows how to let you be the designer.
And to the end, what makes a good design or a good work of Airside?
Something that responds to the brief in the correct way that we feel proud of.
Well, it has to make us happy. And I think at the end of the day, you know, all of the work that we do has to be some sort of personal expression for us, and we like to feel like we have some sort of personal ownership over it, and therefore, you know, even if we think we could do it better, it's something that everybody at Airside feels that they have some ownership over.
Okay. There were a lot of similarities in your answers, so you pass. And exactly, yeah. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
And let's go down
Okay.
to the speakers.